I'm Ashley Deem, Associate Publisher of Fantini's Gaming Report, and I am here at the GameCo booth with CEO Blaine Graboyes. Blaine, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ashley. It's great to have you here.
This is part of our corporate chat series, and we're going to talk a little bit about the messaging that GameCo is promoting. You have I think you've learned a lot over the last 2 or 3 years in doing this, so maybe you can talk about the position of the company currently and where you see your products developing moving forward.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, we created the category of video game gambling when we launched in November 2016, and we've learned so much since then, and we continue to evolve and improve the product. So here at G2E this year, we're showing what we call our Generation 3 games. And what we've learned over the last few years is we definitely attract a different customer, younger, incremental revenue, typically an unrated player. But we still had one challenge in the games that we finally solved, which is the velocity of betting. And that's so important because that's what allows the games to generate the revenue that's needed for the casinos.
And in terms of velocity of betting, are there the games that you have Generation 3, are they out on field trial, or are you showing them for the first time here?
So our first Generation 3 game launched about 6 weeks ago. It's at Mohegan Sun, Foxwoods, and Tropicana in New Jersey as well. And the results we're seeing are really fabulous. It's what we would expect. The old games, you would bet, play for a minute, and have an outcome. Typically, we'd see a very high average bet. $3.50 was our average bet over a few thousand plays. But that meant only $3.50 coin in, which was a suppressed win per unit. In the new games, we're seeing an average bet of $1.50 or $1.80. Players are making 10 or more bets per minute, so that's $15 to $20 coin in, which means that these are games now that can meet the house average win per unit that casinos need from a revenue perspective.
And I know that some of your products can be played individually. I know there's a social component. Can you talk maybe about the options when it comes to that part of the game?
Sure. So here at G2E, we're showing a prototype of our multiplayer challenge mode. It'll launch in 2019, and what it does is it makes all of our game library multiplayer. So now you can come up to a machine on the floor, you can play in single player if you're by yourself, or you can play in tournaments or competitions. We'll support brackets, winner take all, and other competition formats. And what we think is really exciting about that is it brings esports directly to the casino floor. So far, there's been a lot of interest in esports from casinos, but it's all happening in a landlord-tenant model at conference centers and venues disassociated from the gaming floor. Our multiplayer challenge mode brings real video game gambling and esports to the casino floor where you're using cash, Tito tickets, and your player tracking system.
Great, and you mentioned Foxwoods and Mohegan. Where are you at in terms of the number of jurisdictions, and how do you see yourself expanding geographically over the next 6 to 12 months?
Sure, so we keep a focus and a strategy on having the smallest installed base that fulfills our needs for prototyping and learning from games. We like to spend a lot of time on property, watching people play games and interact with them. But we're also very focused on how we use our capital. So right now, we want to make the best games possible. So we want to have the smallest possible footprint so we can do the most to support them, support the properties that we're in, and learn and iterate as quickly as possible. Regionally, we're focused in the Northeast, about to expand in the Southwest, Midwest, and Canada. And we'll slowly expand that geographically. We also have a partnership in Europe where we're working to bring games to the EU, and a partnership in South America looking to expand in Latin America as well.
And last question, is there something that the industry as a whole should know about GameCo?
Well, I think that the industry knows that we're committed to video game gambling and that we're going to continue to improve the product. We are going to deliver games that solve the biggest problem for the industry, which is attracting a younger audience and creating new incremental revenue, but also bringing games that appeal to core slot players as well. And I think our booth here shows that we're communicating to an audience that we as an industry are trying to reach. Not millennials, not Gen X, but just a different audience that can come to the casino and have the time of their life and gamble as well.
Great. Thank you for having us, Blaine.
Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate it.